Okay, so we're going to talk about multiplying integers. And so multiplying and dividing negative and positive numbers. Okay, you have negative, these are integers. You have your negative and positive numbers, no decimals, no fractions. Okay, so they're just the whole numbers. So when you are multiplying integers and dividing integers, like we'll see tomorrow, we talk about these as relationships, okay? So when you have two people, okay, both of your numbers are positive, okay? This is what you've been doing since second grade. When both of your numbers are positive and you're multiplying them, okay, I always say they're the same. They have the same interests, they're very positive people, and they like doing the same thing. So their answer, their product, their relationship is positive, okay? Now these two people, they might be negative, but they like the same things. They're the same. So if they're the same, again, their relationship is very positive. So when you multiply two negative numbers, your answer is going to be positive. Okay? When you multiply two positive numbers, your answer is going to be positive. So now you have these two people over here. You have one negative and one positive. They're different. They have different interests. They don't like the same thing. So they have a very negative relationship. Same with these two. They're different. So they have a very negative relationship. So when you multiply two numbers where their signs are different, your answer is always going to be negative, okay, no matter what order that they're in. If they're different, your answer is negative. Okay, so the product of two integers with different signs is always going to be negative. The product of two integers with the same sign is going to be positive. All right, so let's look at the same sign. You have 3 times 4. This is just what you've had since you were in second grade. So 3 groups of 4. All right, so since the signs are the same, they're very happy together, right? Because they're the same, so they have a very positive relationship. So 3 times 4 is just 12. So here you have 2 negatives. Again, they're the same. Okay, they're very happy because they like the same things, and so they have a very positive relationship. So 3 times 4 is 12. Now, remember the positive sign. You can put it or not put it, and you're still going to know that it's a positive number. So here we have 3 times negative 4. 3 groups of negative 4. So we have, this would be like saying negative 4 plus negative 4 plus negative 4. We have 3 groups of negative 4. So when you multiply, see this is positive, a 3, and a negative 4. So when your signs are different, okay, think of relationships. They're very different. So they don't like the same things. They're not going to get along very well. So they have a negative answer. All right, so 3 times 4 is 12. And again, signs are different. This is like saying 4 groups of negative 3. And so when the signs are different, your answer is negative. And then 3 times 4 is 12. So you're not changing the way you're multiplying. 3 times 4 is still 12. You're just assigning it a sign. Okay? All right, here's an example. So you have negative 6 times 5. Opposite signs or different signs, then your product is going to be negative. All right, so you can say that this is negative 6 times 5. If we switch them, the order of them, using the commutative property, then this would be 5 groups of negative 6. So negative 6, negative 6, negative 6, negative 6, negative 6. So we would have 5 groups of negative 6. So 5 times 6 is 30. Your signs are different. So remember, these are 2 different people. They're not going to get along very well, so it's going to be negative. So negative 30. Okay, so let's look at it on a number line. We have 3 times negative 2. That's 3 groups of negative 2. So when you're showing it on a number line with multiplication, you always start at 0. Okay, so here's your start. So you're going to move 3 groups of negative 2. So we're going to number our number line on the negative side. So we're doing 3 groups, but the negative 2 is going to tell us in which direction to move. So we're going to move to the left toward the negative side of the number line. So we're going to move negative 2, but we're going to do it 3 times. Okay, so we're going to move negative 2. See, that was negative 2. Another negative 2. And then another group of negative 2. And where I end up, that's my answer. Okay, so my answer is negative 6. So I started at 0, and I moved 1 group of negative 2, and another group of negative 2, and another group of negative 2. So I have 3 groups of negative 2. And where I end is my answer. So what if this was negative as well? Well, that's not going to be shown on a number line. I'm never going to ask you to show negative 3 times negative 2 on the number line. You're just going to remember your sign rule. If the signs are the same, your answer is going to be positive. Okay, so let's look on the back. A submarine drops at a rate of 19 feet per minute. What is the submarine's depth in feet after 4 minutes? Okay, so it's a submarine. It's going to be underwater. So I want you to think, here is the water level. Okay, there's the surface of the water. That's sea level. That's going to be 0 on a vertical number line. So as we're going down in the submarine, okay, your integers are going to be negative. All right, you're not going to be going up in a submarine. Submarines don't fly. So here's the surface of the water. So it's going to drop. That right there is telling you that 19 is a negative 19. That's what's happening. That's the integer that's representing the situation. And it's dropping 19 feet per minute. Remember, when we see the word per, it's just like each and every. It means 1, which means groups. It means to multiply or divide. So we're going 19 feet per minute. In 1 minute, we're dropping 19 feet. But we're doing it how many times? We're dropping 4 minutes, right? With 19 feet each time. So we're having 4 groups. You can write it either way. 4 groups of negative 19, which is going to be D. So when it asks me the depth, I need to make sure that I tell you where we are. Okay, we're 76 feet down, and that negative sign tells you that. All right, if we worked this, which expression below equals 0? Remember, an expression is something without an equal sign. Okay, if it has an equal sign, it's an equation. So that, we haven't learned how to do that, so that's going to be 30. 20 minus 3 is 17. 2 times 9 is 18. Negative 2 times 8 would be 8 groups of negative 2. So if the signs are different, your answer is negative. 2 times 8 is 16. So our answer is going to be C. So which model represents the expression 4 times negative 2? So basically 4 groups of negative 2. Okay, and they have these counters that represent, this is negative 1, this is negative 1, negative 1, negative 1, this is positive 1, positive 1, positive 1, positive 1, so forth. So here on A we have 4 groups of, and then there's positive 2 in each one. So that's not going to be equal to that expression. And then we have 1, 2, that's 2 groups of negative 2 in each group. This is 1, 2, 3 groups of positive 2 in each group. And then that's 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of negative 2 in each group. So this D is going to answer or match our expression up here. Okay, which number line best represents the following equation? So I'm going to go ahead and number my number line a little bit on each one. So remember, multiplication is all about groups. So we're looking at how they're jumping. So this one is starting at 0, and it's jumping 1, 1, 1. So it's jumping 3 groups of 1. So that's going to show 3 times 1. This is starting at 0, and it's jumping 3 at a time. Okay, so we have 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be 3 groups of 3. And then we have this one that's not even starting at 0, it's starting at 9. And it's moving to the left, so it's subtracting. Okay, so you're saying 9 minus 1, 2, 3, 4, minus 1, 2, 3, minus 1, 2. So that's not at all what we're looking for, because we're looking for 3 times 3. And then here we're jumping 2 here, and 2 here, and 2 here. So those are equal groups. That is multiplication. So we have 1, 2, 3 groups of positive 2. So one that matches this is going to be B. And so since 3 times 3 is 9, we know that since that ended at 9, we know that that also is another reason why it's our correct answer.